Hey everyone, when you think about something you see and you're like, oh my God, I have to have that, or my friends have this, or I got to get Allbirds, I got to get those Skims bras, and you're like, wow, what a great product, cool brand. Then they have brilliant marketing. What you're not seeing is the business behind the business. And that's why I love Shopify. For millions of businesses, Shopify is the business behind the business. It is brilliant. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It is the number one checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned, way more selling goes on. I know that I abandon my carts all the time. But I love Shopify. I can also track exactly where my item is, when it's coming. It's safe, it's great, and it's great for businesses and buyers alike. So I love Shopify. You need Shopify. Upgrade your business. Get the same checkout that Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Judy Gold, all lowercase, JUDYGOLD, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Judy Gold, all lowercase, to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Judy Gold. Do it. You want success. And I want you to be successful. You're welcome. She needs to do a podcast since she never got her due. She's a big lesbian and a loudmouth Jew. With a gasket always ready to blow, you're listening to Judy's show. Who? Wait a minute, who are you talking about? Oh, she's an asshole. What is wrong with you? Oh, you suck. So long. Fuck off. Hey everyone, welcome to It's Judy's Show. I'm your host, Judy Gold, and how are you? How is everyone? I am a little stressed out. I've been traveling a lot. I want to tell you about my dates that I really need to sell tickets to, okay? It's a lot going on, people. But I am going to be, Tuesday, I'm at Temple Beth in Miami, doing a benefit for them, gala, whatever it's called, the Jews. I love the Jews. Boca Raton, the Boca Black Box, with Rich Voss and Flip Schultz. It's going to be so fun. 3 Jews walk into a bar. I'm one of them. That's Wednesday, April 9th, and Thursday, April 10th. Then I'm going to go away for Passover, Pesach. And then I'm in Sellersville, Pennsylvania on April 19th, in Sellersville, Pennsylvania, with Kirsten Michelle Sills, who I love. She is opening for me. That's going to be a great show at the Sellersville Theater in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, April 25th. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have never been there. I'm so excited. I want to go to the Andy Warhol Museum. Bedford, New York, May 1st at the Bedford Theater. Boston City Winery, May 8th. Cleveland, Fiddler on the Roof. I'm playing Yenta for a presentation. It's going to be great. I'll have more info on that. Toronto, May 17th. Elkins, PA, May 18. Jewish Federation of Philly, May 20. I am going to St. Louis, Missouri, on May 29. So you got to come. I haven't been to St. Louis in so long. So yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I think I'll be in Texas and San Antonio in June. I got a lot coming on. So go to judygold.com and look up all my gigs, because I need you to be there. I need you to be there for me. I have been traveling. I have to say, it is can we just talk about traveling for 1 second? It is not fun. It is not fun. Okay. I went to DC. Amtrak, as I mentioned, fucking sucks. So late, 3.5 hours. You can't even count on Amtrak, and it's a fucking train. And you go on the train because it's more comfortable, and you go on the train because, you don't have to go on a plane. And in New York, I could go right to Penn Station, and or Moynihan Station, as they call it, and just get on the train, and I'm comfortable, and I can read, and I could get up and walk, and it's not a fucking plane. Then I went to Aruba. I cannot tell you how many fucking times you have to go through security to come back to the United States from Aruba. They do everything there. So when you get off the plane from Aruba, you don't have to do anything in the United States. But it's like you think you're done, and then there's like you turn the corner and there's another fucking line of people, and you're like, oh my God, I have to go through the security again. And as you know, I have the fake knees, so I have to get patted down. And I have to say, the Aruban patter downer people are so much better than the ones I've had to deal with in the United States of America, where they're like, it's like, what is it that you have to pat me down and go like under my tits? You know, I don't, look at me. I tell you, I have fake knees. And you're like, oh, under the tits. It's like completely under. Then they go up your vagina, like to the, it's like they go between your legs. And it's like, listen, I'm sorry you're unhappy and you're having problems at home or whatever, or you feel powerless. But like, don't take it out on me. Okay? You please. Look at me. I'm gonna have like an explosive device on me. I can barely bend down, And I tell you, and I have a card that says, she has titanium, and it doesn't matter. It's like, it really depends on who you get. And I talked to the Aruban people, and they're like, you don't have to do that. You just have to, gently, come on. What the fuck is wrong with people? People are going nutso. So we had fun in Aruba. I just love the water there. The food there is so good. The people there are really, really nice. And it's just, you eat a lot of fish, and it's a lot of fish, and I love the fish. And we had so much fun with Gary Veeder and his wife, Allie Veeder, and me and Elisa, and it was fun. I mean, we make no money, but we have a good time. And I was there with Tony V from Boston, who's just great, and Ray Ellen is the host, and it's Aruba Ray's Comedy Club, and his picture's all over the place, and it's so annoying. But anyway, we had a lot of fun. So if want to go on a vacation and sit at the beach and chill, because there's not much else to do there. They do have some casinos, but I'm not a gambler. So, yeah, so that was fun. And now I'm back on the road to Florida. I just wish traveling wasn't so hard. I have global entry. Now I feel like I have to get this digital ID thing. It's like you get clear, you get TSA pre, you get all this stuff, and then it becomes obsolete. It's like everyone has it. And you're like, I could just go on the regular line and it'll take less time, but I don't want to take off my shoes. And whatever. It's a lot. So and it's going to get more expensive. Okay, can we talk about the tariffs? What the fuck is going on? And that fat fuck is playing golf. He doesn't give a shit. I was listening to people talk about farmers are like really struggling. It's like tariffs don't work. They never work. They're not going to work for you. These people get on and they just talk this bullshit about, when the president, they're all afraid of him. It's really sick what's going on here. And just like bullying all of our allies. I don't get it. I really don't understand. I just want a human being to be president. By the way, speaking of human beings, if you look behind me, I'm sure you're going to see a clip on Instagram of my rant this week. And I want you to know my son Ben is home, and my office is his bedroom. It was the kids' room, and then it became my office when he was gone. And now he's home, and I just want you to know it is a fucking disaster. My Peloton has a towel and a blanket on it. The bed is just a mess. Boys are slobs. I can't even. First of all, here's the rule, Ben. You use one glass all day. Like, I come home, there's 7 glasses out. It's like, no, you pick a glass for the day, and that's your water glass. And that's it. You use it all day, and then you put it in the dishwasher, which seems to be really difficult. Anyway, so that's why it looks like a mess, and I don't care. I don't really care. But what is going on in this country? Then a second kid died of measles. Like, we solved these problems. What is this going back and saying and revisionist history? No, we have to move forward. So now another kid is dead, and fucking, what's his name? Robert Kennedy Jr. goes to the funeral. It's like, and Dr. Oz is going to be the head of Medicaid and like, what is going on? Are you people, is anyone finding this to be crazy? And then Trump is talking about a third term. And no one's like, what is going on? So, yes, I'm angry, yes, but we did have demonstrations on Saturday and a lot of people showed up. And I don't know if it's going to have any effect, but we have to keep doing that. That's what we have to keep doing. We have to keep showing up and we have to keep shouting from the mountaintops because, and go in front of Tesla. Just, you don't have to destroy the cars. I mean, even though that fucking truck is the ugliest piece of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And it just says small penis. They should just write small penis. And apparently it's made of shit. It's just horrible. It's so ugly. I don't even know how people maneuver it. Who is this fucking guy? No one hired him. No one elected him. I just don't understand. But I'm very happy that there are so many thousands and thousands and millions of people who agree with me and went out on the streets. I didn't go on the streets because I had just been traveling and yeah, but I'm happy to know, it's good to know when you look, some of them I don't agree with. Some, it's interesting because I have, some of them, I with their anti-Zionist, anti-Israel shit, it's like, no, we're talking about the United States of America. Put your fucking, anti-Semitism away for an afternoon and realize that we're here as Americans going, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? I have friends who follow their money every day. Like, oh, did you see what happened on the stock market? I'm not like that. I'm invested, but I don't look at it every day. I'm not a gambler. I'm not like, oh my God, blah, blah. I have lived hand to mouth for so long. And for many years, I've had good years. I've had bad years. I've had really shitty, horrible years. So I know what it's like to not have money and to have to work and cut down on shit and and so you do it. But this is beyond, like, do not take my Social Security away. I have been, don't take any, like, they're taking all of our security, period, away. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But thank God people are out. Cory Booker is a fucking hero. I don't know how he did that. He said he dehydrated himself. He had to be wearing a diaper, don't you think? Just for drippage and maybe a little shit if that came. But I don't know. 25 hours. That guy he is a rock star. He is a rock star. And it's just so funny. You think about the last time someone had, Strom Thurmond had the record of the longest, speech on the floor of the Senate. And, that was against the equal rights, against the Civil Rights Act. And this guy is just trying to say, come on, people, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. We can't be divisive. His staff, kudos to all of them. I can't believe he physically did that. I can't believe it. And he was still standing and talking. Like, I do an hour and a half set. I just want to sit down and he's wearing a suit and he's going on and on and on and just talking. And I don't know how he did it, but he's incredible. So thank you to Cory Booker. Hey everyone, these days it feels like the world, our lives, everything is moving at hyperspeed. And sometimes I know the greatest rush is not rushing at all. And that's where the all-new Nissan Murano comes in. I travel a lot and I rent cars often to get to my gigs, to get to the hotel, and I always try to rent every single time the Nissan Murano because it is roomy. The interior design is so fantastic, and it's a great, great, great car. It has massaging leather appointed seats to help melt away the tension. I love that. They have that panoramic moonroof, tons of light, very important, especially after you've been on a plane for several hours. Bose premium sound system, ambient mood lighting, 64 color options to set the vibe in the car. I mean, when I'm driving, especially in a place I don't know, I want to feel like really comfortable and relaxed. And that is what the Nissan Murano makes me feel. Nissan, by the way, it's a great company. It has a history of innovation and a very impressive track record. I know they've greatly impacted the auto industry, and I see a lot of them on the road. Nissan makes owning a car exciting, amazing, and the Murano is a fantastic car. So, to check out the all-new Nissan Murano, please go visit your local Nissan dealer or visit nissanusa.com. You're welcome. Drive safely.
Panoramic moonroof, ambient lighting, Bose premium sound system, massaging leather appointed seats are optional features.
Hey everyone, did you know that Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the United States with thousands of different plants and over 2 million happy customers? And guess what? I'm one of the happy customers. I mean, I'm not a happy person. No, I am happy. But if you watch the podcast, you'll see if you see our clips, you'll see in the background I have a beautiful fig tree that I got from Fast Growing Trees, which I've had for, a pretty long time. And his name is Avi. I also have another plant on the piano, and her name is Yael. And I love my plants. And I love living in an apartment in New York City with live, beautiful shrubbery. I guess that's what you would call it. Fast Growing Trees has everything you need. And their support, I've called them, what kind of soil? Do I need a bigger pot? I don't understand what's happening here. And they are so amazing to speak to. And the best part, they deliver. You don't have to drive around to nurseries, big garden centers, choose plants from a limited assortment. You order online, and they are available to chat and tell you everything. They are plant experts, and they're amazing, and they get right back to you. I love them, love them, love them. So you got to check out Fast Growing Trees, another place that has improved my life. This spring, they have all the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. Listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when using the code Judy Gold at checkout, JUDYGOLD. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code Judy Gold at checkout, JUDYGOLD. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code Judy Gold. Now is the perfect time. I'm not kidding. Whether you live in an apartment, whether you have a home, whether you have a tiny little area that is just empty, now is the time, the perfect time to plant. Use Judy Gold to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. You're welcome. I wanted to talk a little bit about, we're going to talk about Passover because Passover's this week. But I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you watched SNL this week, but it was so funny. It was, okay, I might have smoked a little bit of pot before. Yes, I did. Which doesn't really make me, I'm still a discerning comic, but I thought that Weekend Update was so funny. Michael Che is hilarious. He does the edgiest material. I thought there were some great jokes there. Jack Black, by the way, so talented. I loved the music. I loved that Elton John was there with Brandi Carlile. Like, it was such a musical show, and it was comedic, and it was just great. And they have some great guests. I mean, I know this is my mother talking, but the fact that they're doing a show a live show on the first night, the first Seder, I think, there's not many of us Jews, but there's a lot of Jews on that show. And I just think in solidarity with what's going on, to just not have a show the first Seder night would be great, but let them do. Lorne Michaels is a Jew, but I guess, people have different priorities. But I just want to say I thought it was really funny. And I think we really need to talk about Amber Ruffin and the fact that, in my book, yes, I can say that when they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. This example is in the book. The fact that Orange Fuckface, and yes, I like that he defends Israel, but I cannot stand him. Sorry, I'm a human, but this is an attack on our First Amendment rights. When you cannot have a satirist, a comedian, which is the tradition for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It is truly an American art form. Stand-up comedy is a direct outcome of our First Amendment rights, that we can get on a stage and say whatever the fuck we want and joke about whomever we want. In other countries, comedians are killed. They're killed. They're jailed. Dictators jail and kill and silence and censor comedians. In China, in North Korea, do you understand the fact that this is, you could say, oh, Amber Ruffin, they just don't want a comedian. This is a bigger issue that what's going on here, that you are too afraid to have a comedian that you can't laugh at yourself. Comedians have been taking our leaders to task since the beginning of this country. That's what we do. And you are silencing them. And you are silencing an art form that is so American. When they come for the comedians, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, people. The things that they're banning, they talk about, the right always talks about we're for free speech. No, you're for hate speech. You're for conspiracy theory speech. You're for saying, oh, there's an island floating in the middle of, whatever, of garbage floating and calling it Puerto Rico. You're for just shock shit that, oh, I could say that. I could say, yeah, but you can't take a brilliant comedian who might undermine your propaganda, who might make you feel a little uncomfortable, and you can't deal with that uncomfortableness because you have no self-awareness and no sense of humor or humility. And that's why people who are dictators cannot deal with comedians. They cannot deal with satire. They cannot deal with the truth. And comedians tell the truth. So I think it is an abomination. And it's sad that there will not be laughter at this year's White House Correspondents' Dinner. I've been to the dinner. It's really special. I was there with Roy Wood Jr., and he was brilliant. And the fact that we're for free speech, right wing, yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want, can't handle a comedian. It's just really pathetic. Pathetic. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Now is a great time to read my book. Yes, I can say that when they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. It really is. I mean, I wrote it, 4 years ago? 5 years ago? It's 2025. It came out almost 5 years ago. It's still relevant. It talks a lot about the first term of Trump, when he couldn't have a comedian at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's sad. It is sad. You know, I have a neighbor who I've lived in my apartment, this filthy, in this room. No, I've lived in my apartment since 1989, which is what, 36 years. It'll be 36 years this summer. And I was 26 years old when I moved in here. I'm now 62. It has one bathroom. It's rent stabilized. And the reason I stayed here was because of my neighbors, because this building is like a kibbutz. It took a village to raise my kids and all the other kids who were raised in this building. And they all turned out fantastic. And yes, I sacrificed a lot in space, but you know, we have Riverside Park, and we have Central Park, and we have other people's apartments, and we would go in and out of each other's apartments. And the kids had an extended family here, and still do. And they considered this home. My neighbor, who has lived next door to me since I've been here, that's what, 36 years almost? She's been here 10 years, longer than that, 46 years. She's from Canada. She grew up in Canada. And she is worried that she's not going to be able to stay here. She is really concerned. She's lived here, worked here, raised kids here, has been very, contributed to society, is a great, great citizen of the United States. I mean, I couldn't believe I'm sitting at my neighbor's apartment, Marjorie, and we're talking about, she's like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to have to leave. Like, what is this? Wasn't supposed to be like this. It was like the stuff I was scared of as a little girl. There's no words. And yet we still have to go on. We still have to live. We still have to get up in the morning and do our jobs and do our lives and look over our shoulders constantly. But my neighbor is scared, and she's Canadian. It's like I'm speechless. I don't even know what the fuck to say. So many of my friends. Yeah, there are bad actors, and there are people that shouldn't be here, who were here illegally, and, some have caused trouble, some haven't. I mean, I have feelings about, you come here, you go to our finest educational institutions, and you are pro-Hamas and anti-American, like you're, no, just don't do that. Don't come here. As I said last week, don't come to my house for dinner. I think I said this last week, but don't come to my house for dinner and shit on my kitchen table. I don't go to your country. You can't do this in your country. I did talk about this last week. So I have mixed feelings about that, but I do believe in free speech. I do. I believe in freedom of expression. I feel, do the funding for the Kennedy Center? We didn't even discuss the fucking Kennedy Center. What is it going to be like Vegas? Like, I don't understand. By the way, in the New Yorker, Eddie Feldman and Bill Schaff wrote the best Shouts and Murmurs, and it is, you have to look it up. It was the program this year's, everything that's going to be at the Kennedy Center, and it's fucking hilarious. Hilarious. But do you understand that they are trying to censor art? DEI, yeah, everyone has mixed feelings about DEI. But when you keep people down, when you take opportunities away from people who don't have them, if they get an opportunity and they get to go to college and they get to, then they're going to have children who are starting at a different level, that you're getting them and their family out of this hole they're in. It's a long-term thing. And we have worked so fucking hard in this country. And now we're all out on the streets again, protesting. But we're protesting everything, because what the fuck is going on? I don't even know what this podcast is. It's me screaming. But, it scares me We're not going to have a comedian at the White House Correspondents' Center. We're not going to have culture at the Kennedy Center. He has to decide. You know nothing about music. You know nothing about art. Nothing. You eat fucking McDonald's, drink Diet Cokes, and play golf. The guy's playing golf every weekend. He doesn't give a shit about you. I hope people are seeing that you don't have to agree. The Democrats, believe me, they have so many fucking problems, bad messaging. Israel and the Democrats have the worst messaging, worst PR team. And, we need people like Cory Booker to just, be like, go fuck yourself. You don't control me. It's awful. It's awful. Measles, like the shit that we're dealing with that we thought, was solved, was a thing of the past. Speaking of the past, it is Passover this weekend. And I just want to wish everyone a Zissin Pesach, Chag Sameach. Passover is the story. It's a story about freedom and slavery. And it is my favorite holiday. And we do tell a story and we do eat foods and it's very traditional. And I always, we don't eat bread. We don't eat leavened products because the Jews left in a hurry and they didn't have time for the bread to rise. So for 8 days, they ate unleavened bread. We eat matzah. But, I got to say, the food now is so much better with the matzah. When I was growing up, it was shit. Everything that was kosher for Passover tasted like a fucking cardboard, vomit, shit. And now, such good recipes and, these paninis with the, unleavened bread. And yeah, so the food is not that bad, but the tradition and the telling of the story and the being with family and relating the story of Passover to what is going on right now. Because it never ends. It stays the same. And it's relevant now. And we have hostages. We have people who are enslaved right now. We cannot forget about them. We need to bring them home. There's an American there. I mean, come on, people. Anyway, I don't know how anyone could be carefree at this point. But here we are. So yeah, so I want to wish you all a happy Pesach. I also want to say that Hamas finally admitted that 72% of the deaths were combat-aged men. They reduced their civilian death toll by a lot because they were lying. And I don't want any innocent civilian dying, any Palestinian, anyone. But stop lying. And the uprising, there are Palestinians who are now finally, protesting against living under Hamas's rule. And we see nothing. We see nothing. We see none of these people saying, wow, they're anti-Hamas. Maybe we should rethink our support for Hamas, which wants to destroy the United States and you. I just wish that people would be more discerning. I wish people would understand nuance. I wish people would read and do their due diligence because it would make the world a much better place. And I wish we had a human being who was the president of the United States. And not, I don't even know what to call him, but here we are. So anyway, come see me, please. I'm really funny. I'm not kidding. I know I don't sound funny right now, but I am really funny. And I'm going to be doing a few more episodes of the podcast, but something new was going to be coming along. So I love you all and thank you all for your support. It's been 10 years of this podcast. And people have to move on. So thank you all. I love you. I'm going to go eat dinner now. Have a wonderful, wonderful time with your family. And and as we always say, oh, I should tell you, I always forget. Produced by Laura Vogel, my podcast. Edited by Colin Schmaling. Marketed by Haley Dircher. And the theme song by the one and only Lauren Gold. I really do want to interview Lauren before I end this podcast because he is such a fucking great guy. And fantastic musician. Plays for Chicago and The Who. So, come on. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening. Travel safe. I love you all. And as we always say, so long. Hey everyone, I have a new sponsor, Rula, R-U-L-A, and I love them. As you know, I am a huge advocate for mental health, and I think therapy is a must for 99.9% of the population, and that's where Rula comes in. So, what are you going to do? It's very important, I'm telling you. With everything that's going on in this world right now, it's time to process with a therapist. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to rula.com/Judy. That's RULA.com/JUDY to get started today. After you sign up, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please, 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 please support our show and tell them that our show sent you. Go to RULA.com/Judy, JUDY, and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. You're welcome.